Okay, well, it's evening now, according to the game. So we did the battle, whatever. What did we do over here? I've completely forgotten the name of it already. It was, we've done the battle hall, and now we've done the battle castle that has one of the Elite Four from Pokemon Black and White, which is really interesting and whatnot. And we told the stories from the weekend at that place, and then we told the stories from my Germany exchange trip in here. So when we go to the next building, what are other stories that I can tell? Do we want to continue telling, like, different stories? Battle Arcade, where events sway outcomes. Hello, hello, Anima. How are you doing today? Your Pokemon trader. What do you mean, Pokemon trader? What do you mean by this? Whoa. Looking like things might be getting a little bit too much fun in this building. Oh, look at the way it goes down. Blaming the game board for losing is pitiful. It's poor form. Game board will show better choices the greater the wins you achieve. Yeah, blaming the game board is poor form. That's remind me of a conversation I had with Uneven Pictures during our episode of Creators Collide Together. Welcome to Battle Arcade. I'm your guide to the single double battle challenges. Please be aware that these challenges are designed for a single trainer. What challenge would you like to take? So I guess you can do ones with like multiplayer kind of stuff with other people that have the game. Double battle. Please select the Pokemon you wish to enter. So we'll do this combo again, and then it's still just 3. Do a wire phone auto swipe trader instead of trader to know why it's bugged your Pokemon trader. Traitor! What a traitor! Oh my goodness. But things are going all right here. As I was telling my stories earlier from the weekend, I well, probably did the most intense workout that I've done in a couple of years, and I pushed myself a bit too hard, and now I hurt like hell. So my motion is very limited. I was struggling even to like take a shirt on or off the past couple days because of how achy I am. Welcome to the Battle Arcade. First, I'll need to hold on to any items held by your Pokemon. Game number 1, come on, Blue Falcon. Without further ado, let's activate the game board. So how is this gonna work? What the hell? What the hell is this? But now we're here just like chilling with the Pokemon Platinum stuff, so things are like pretty nice, and like hopefully I'll be. Do I have to hit this? Okay. This is our current event. Fire. This is our current event, Arson! The match will commence with the harmless Pokemon What? I thought if you hit the button, it would just be one of those things that, like, starts slowing down and then eventually stops. Not an immediate freaking stop. Wasn't expecting that. Man! This is rigged. This is rigged. But yeah. Doing okay, she have a toothache, that's annoying. But alright for now, how was your weekend? That's what we spent the first facility here talking a whole bunch. The short version is we spent the weekend out at the family's lake cabin, and we had the neighbors out there. I did some tubing behind the boat for the first time in freaking several years, and then later the same day I managed to let the neighbor convince me to join him and the boyfriend of his daughter, who was also out there like tagging along for the weekend, to have like a freaking 200-meter burpee race of like go down, do a push-up, and then jump forward. And that's the only way that you can do forward motion. That's the only way you can move forward, is by doing that, and do it for like 200 meters. And my goodness gracious, I usually take things a lot more chill around people that I've known for a long time, I'm like close friends with, and I'll just do whatever the heck I'm comfortable with. But with people that I'm like acquainted with but don't know super well yet, yeah, that's what they're called. For whatever reason, I feel like I have the need to just like prove myself, you know? Be like, okay, this is my chance to make their opinion of me go up and stuff, because I've always had like self-esteem issues and stuff. So well, I kind of pushed myself to be the person that won the race, and I'm still feeling it like crazy 2 days later, and this is like the most I've ached in a couple of years. So there's that. My motion is very, very limited right now. My goodness. Earthquake has really lost a lot of its power after that burn, Jeebus. So there was that, but it was generally fun. It was generally a fun time, and what have you. But my goodness, I freaking destroyed myself. So we were telling wow, the burn is really hurting me. So I was telling those stories during the first building there, and then during the second building in the Battle Frontier we tried out, I was telling stories from my Germany-Canada exchange trip in 8th grade, all in one hostel. But now we're at the third place, we're at the third building, Is there another set of stories that I can tell? But I didn't put pressure on my hip or wrist. For my hip, I only really need to worry about like my right hip injury when I'm doing like really crazy leg motion. Like for example, my current breaking that I need to do for 3rd degree black belt is, it's a split, it's a scissor roundhouse kick. I freaking don't know why I was blanking on that. So essentially, 3 kicks in midair. So you jump up, you do almost a splits thing, a side kick on the right side, a front snap kick on the left. I can barely even lift my arms up here. This is like as high as they go right now. Like, ow, that's as much as I can do there. And then you do like a roundhouse kick right at the end. So you do like a split 2 and then a 3rd one. And doing that hurts my shoulders like crazy. My goodness, I freaking destroyed myself. So doing like crazier stuff like that needs like much crazier motion is what would really screw with my hip or my shoulders by acting out the motions there because they hurt like crazy. So the hip wasn't too much of a problem. My wrist, it's a problem where when I bend it back, which is what you do when you do push-ups. So I tried it out like that for a little while and it wasn't too bad. It started like not hurting, but feeling a little bit uncomfortable. So I did switch to like knuckles halfway through since I couldn't do like open hand anymore. Well, I could, but it wasn't like in pain. It didn't flare up in pain like the way that I'd be used to seeing in the past with my injuries. So I do think it is better. It's not completely healed. I don't know if it's ever gonna be completely healed. It might just be something that I'm stuck with for life. Wow, you are dumb, Rhyhorn, aren't you? My goodness. So yeah, there was that. It felt like it wasn't too bad though. Like it was very manageable, it seems like. But yeah, EQ also does less because it's spread move and stuff. I forgot that was a thing at first. So yeah, I guess we can do this. But yeah, that is true. Remembering it. We'll go ahead and finish things off here. Ah, my nose. This battle was annoying. So yeah, it felt like it was pretty alrighty. Felt pretty alrighty overall. When I got home, I immediately changed into my pajamas here, which it just looks like a black shirt from afar anyway. Can't tell that much of a difference, but you know, if I tell you that they're pajamas, then you know. So there's that. If you see my leggings, then you know. That's because I needed something loose. I didn't need freaking stuff I was wearing before that was a bit tighter, and with my limited motion that I already have, it kind of sucked. So I switched into what I was more comfortable in, and I've just kind of been chilling. Good going. We'll heal your Pokemon now. Well, thanks. Thanks, man. Next up, game number 2. Are you ready? Yeah, sure am. Game number 2. Come on. Blue Falcon. Without further ado, let's activate the game board. So it's just immediately when I hit it. It doesn't... So red means, like, for that side, it hurts them. So, like, will it paralyze them? This is our current event. I love how I have the control and they have none. Kara's Pokemon paralyzed. Wow. Get messed up, Kara. Or something. But yeah. So what other stories can I tell during this? I can just talk about, like, future stuff with this channel if I want to. Like, I know that we got this freaking screen done, the new screens here, that I don't remember if that was before last session or if it's new to this session because all the days get mixed up in my head, but I'm relatively happy with how it turned out. Some of the lighting effects don't make sense in some areas, but like, whatever. I just went with it. I just went with the flow. It was only afterwards that I noticed that, like, you know, the shading for shadows wasn't exactly consistent in some places, but whatever. Whatever, it works out, I guess, so maybe I'll give it some edits later. But I am glad that that project is, like, mostly done now, at least. So, let's see here. Let's go ahead and, I don't know, Leaf Storm the Teddy Ursa. And then, like, return the Staravia. Return to sender. Ha! Wow, you'd really be faster? Maybe you were trying to use Quick Attack or something. Maybe that's all that was. So, meh. So, yeah. I guess, yeah, I'm thinking about, like, other stories that I could tell. When it comes to, like, German stuff in general, it wasn't part of the German exchange trip. But when I was in junior high school, we had a very interesting German teacher, to say the least. She had a very, very unique accent. It wasn't from any particular place in the world because she spent a lot of her life in all sorts of different places. So she had, like, a wholly unique way of speaking, it seemed like. like, I know that a lot of the friendos that I grew up with there would always have fun doing like the impressions of her in later years, but the way that she would act to people, I need to like put myself into like the proper mindset for it, like get situated in the mindset for her. The way she would speak would be something along the lines of, you guys, when you guys are speaking like this and constantly interrupting me, then you go on the corner and then you do push-ups. She would make people do push-ups in the corner when things were going not so good. Or like sometimes in the class, people would whistle sometimes, and in German the word for whistle is pfeift, and who is wer. So wer pfeift would be who's whistling. So a common phrase for her in the class would be either someone would whistle or somebody would maybe not do anything, but she'd think that she'd hear a whistle anyway, and she'd just like look around like a crazed hawk and be like, wer pfeift? Wer pfeift? And she would tell people, you guys, if you keep on whistling like this, then you go on the corner and then you do push-ups. And that was the tone that she had. And sometimes she would just like wildly accuse people just randomly. Sometimes she would accuse like the quietest people in the whole class because that's where she think that something came from. So sometimes being in that class felt like a weird roulette of like her throwing out wild accusations at different people in the class for who was whistling. Oh my goodness. That would happen to you. It happened to me a couple times. I can't even whistle. I wish I could, but I cannot. I cannot do that. So that was a very interesting teacher that we had. And to tell like a much more lighthearted and like heartwarming kind of story when it comes to German classes, when I was in high school, there was this teacher that we had who was very, very understanding of us sucking at German and would definitely make things a lot easier a lot of the time. Like, for example, he realized that we didn't know some of the basic kind of grammar tables for some things in German, and he told us like, okay, rather than doing like a test that tests your use of all these grammar thingamabobs, just memorize like a basic version of this table, and if the entire class gets like 80% or more, or maybe it was 90% or more, something like that, he said that he'd go and buy the entire class donaires, and the whole class studied really hard for it. And we got it, and he bought the entire class donaires. That wasn't the main story I wanted to tell. It's just kind of like to frame what kind of person he is. He was a really nice teacher that wanted to, you know, do whatever he could to help people learn and encourage and whatnot. Like, he was a really nice guy. He was one of my favorite teachers I've ever had. And there was we were going through like some different terms to like say things during one class at some point, and maybe I'll just like crunch the chikorita there, maybe. And there was somebody, sometimes when you didn't know what something was in German, you would just like ask like, what's the translation of this or something like that. We'd be speaking in German constantly in those classes, but if you didn't know what something was in German, you'd ask about it. And somebody asked what it meant, like what it was in German to say that something's on a higher level or on another level, something like that. And our teacher thought about it for a hot second, and then he oh, come on! And then he eventually came with the answer that to be on a higher level in German is auf ein höheres Niveau is what it was called. And like people were like really stunned about that. They were like, whoa, it sounds so fancy. Auf ein höheres Niveau, you know? Like it sounded so fancy. So it kind of became like a recurring term throughout our class as the year went on. Like, there was even a project once where you needed to give, like, a news kind of podcasty kind of thing to the class, and one group named theirs the talk show Auf ein höheres Niveau, for example. Like, it became a bit of a recurring meme there. Why is the Nuzleaf so pink? Why are you so pink there? What the hell? So, yeah, there we go. We'll go ahead and paralyze you, I guess. This is our current event. Heck yeah! So it was a bit of a recurring meme there. And then around December of grade 12, we decided to have a bit of a Secret Santa thing going on in the class, where people that were interested in doing it would put their name into like the hat or something, and everybody draws a name to see who they're getting a gift for Secret Santa. And I actually got the name of the teacher, so I had to do something for him. And I wasn't sure what to do for a good while, and I thought about it. And I decided I'd do something like really personal and meaningful. So at the time, it was like early grade 10-ish. Nuzleaf was really strong. I'll keep an eye out. Gosh darn it, we're both all this stuff is gonna be at a disadvantage here for some of the stuff. I'll just crunch, and then I'm gonna like fly the Nuzleaf. In early grade 10 was when I made this hat. It was a blank black hat. I painted the white on the front of it myself for Enharmonia's kind of thingamabob. And I was like, okay, I can make some craftsy kind of stuff, I guess, if I really apply myself. So I decided to make something for him. So I went out and got some materials. I went to an arts and crafts store. I got like a wooden base kind of thing. I got these plastic wine glasses, and I got some materials to make like a little stand. And I essentially painted the main base as well as this plastic wine glass that I rubber cemented to the base golden, so it would be like a golden trophy. I cut up a tin can and I put duct tape on the side that had like the logo and stuff so you wouldn't see that, and it just looked like a solid color. It looked metallic. And on the metal inside is what I had facing out and like kind of plastered to the front of the whole thing. And on the plaque I had written "Für ein Lehrer des auf ein höheres Niveau ist." Something like that. It might have been phrased slightly differently. But essentially what that translates to is for a teacher that's on a higher level. So I used the whole recurring meme that we had throughout the whole class and attribute it to the teacher and made like a kind of award for him and whatnot. And so most of the things that I've showcased on this channel before that I've made are just like my hat and my Enharmonia cosplay stuff. But like way back, like 4.5 years ago now, there was an award that I made, or like a kind of trophy that I made for my grade 12 German teacher, because I wanted to say it was für ein Lehrer das auf ein höheres Niveau ist, for a teacher that's on a higher level. I haven't seen him since high school. Maybe one of these days it'd be fun to like stop into the high school and be like, how are things going? Do you still have that trophy by chance? I don't know. He was like one of my favorite teachers I ever had. He was awesome. But yeah. Good thing this wasn't Thursday or I would have never beaten Nuzleaf. Is that a reference to something? I don't even know what that's a reference to in that case. But yeah, so I have pictures of that somewhere on my computer. I wouldn't know where. But somewhere on my computer I have pictures of that. I know I had the my photos folder here loaded up. Was the thing from showing the Germany bed break thing earlier. But I don't think that I would easily have the yeah, I don't think I have things here. Device photos. Oh, this is around the time I made my hat. Nope, I don't. It doesn't scroll down farther. Because I'm about to say, if I actually have some photos of it, is a thing that I have somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere. But yeah, more of an inside joke. Gotcha. Well, game number 5. Come on. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to show that. I know I have some pictures somewhere, but I don't know where it would be. I'm not quite certain. It looks like I have some old videos of like tubing stuff, apparently. I have some old stuff at like Taekwondo festivals, it seems like, but yeah, there's some photos somewhere, but I'm not exactly going to easily get them. Well, I don't know what this does. I was trying to get the thing that screwed our opponent. This is our current event. I appreciate the follow there, Jonto. That freaking name right there of that remixer nerd and whatnot. Let the battle commence. I'm not very good at this, but please don't hold back. It's that remixer nerd. It's the dude, the man, the myth, the legend, Last Peaches, Totodile, and Charmander. You got the freaking starters out here. What is up? Not a whole lot. Just got back from a freaking pretty fun, but also pretty tolling weekend physically, but in a good way. So we're back in town here to freaking chill. I'm so achy. My movement is super limited, but whatever. It is what it is. I get to chill here playing video games. So it's all good. My goodness gracious. While we're sorting things out, I've been telling stories for like the past hour and a half because I don't exactly have the best of commentary when it's just fighting Dudos over and over again as we showcase the different buildings in the battle frontier and Platinum. But yeah, I haven't been very physically active since the pandemic. Neither have I. I used to be in Taekwondo like regularly. I used to be going there 3 times a week. But then I got injured for half a year and I was stuck in physiotherapy. And then freaking COVID started right after. And I haven't done like any training of like any sort at all since then. But this weekend was spent out at my family's lake cabin, and we wound up bringing our neighbors out there, and the neighbor kind of had us was like, hey, you want to come be a part of like some super intense workouts that I'm doing at the lakefront? And I was like, okay, what could possibly go wrong? And well, now I'm in the like super achy state that I am in right now. Like, hopefully by the time the achiness goes away, hopefully I'll feel awesome after all that, but we shall see. After doing 200 meters of burpees, I'm a little bit broken right now. Oh yeah, I should probably get some ice. That's a good idea. That is probably a good idea. I'll look into that. This was also 2 days ago now that this happened, and I still feel like broken. So, my goodness, it has been a good while. Good going. We'll heal your Pokemon now. I've been very physically active since birth. See, I wouldn't have been unless my parents like if my parents hadn't enrolled me in Taekwondo when I was like 4 years old. Let's activate the game board. What are we gonna get this time? Like, I would not have grown up to be like a physically active person at all. Dang, I missed it. Do you have burpees? Yeah, you'd be feeling that for at least a week. I have a feeling I am gonna be feeling this for like a week. I've been struggling to get like a shirt on and off for the past couple of days. Even something like that is a freaking struggle. This is about as high up as I can move my arms right now. I feel broken. I feel my best when I'm just sitting still and pressing buttons like this, or doing simple stuff on the bottom of the screen with like a mouse like this. So thank goodness this is on my PC and not like an actual 3DS and doing stuff like that really close up, because I would not be able to handle that right now. Like, we had to take many breaks while we were doing this. So it was me, the neighbor, and the boyfriend of one of the neighbor's daughters that came out and was chilling as well. And we had to be like a race of sorts. So we went from like this one tree to this other tree, like all the way down the ways, and then back again, and then down and back again. And there were spans where you just needed to like stop and just chill for like 10 to 30 seconds and just talk with one another. And oh, what that? Were you holding on to something that made you hang? Well, the earthquakes can't take you out anyway. And I mentioned this a couple times earlier in the stream already, but for whatever reason, when I'm around people that like, I know them, but like, I haven't known them a super long time. They're not like super close friends yet. Like, we're like acquainted. I have this like need to prove myself. Like, yes, let's get their opinion of me up. So we were having like a semi-race-ish. And right at the end, I kind of pushed myself to wind up winning the race. And well, I kind of regretted it, is the thing. I wound up doing it in a little bit over 6 minutes. They wound up doing it in about like 6.5 minutes-ish, something like that. And it felt longer than that. I wouldn't be surprised if that stopwatch was completely wrong. It felt like it lasted 3,000 years. What felt like a 3,000-year curse. My goodness. Well, my goodness, Samurott. I'm only just now reading that. But yeah, so I hurt. It's going good, I'm chilling, but I hurt. Also, Bravenduno raided with a party of 2. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition as we get into game number 7. I appreciate the raid there, Bravenduno. If I'm saying that correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. And I appreciate the follow there, Dupiter. How did the stream go? What were you streaming, if you don't mind me asking? What was on the stream agenda today? You're not with the raid. Well, you're coming with the hype of it anyway, is the thing. Let's see here. Oh, gosh darn, I'm freaking bad at this game. But yeah, well, I appreciate you stopping by regardless, Dupiter, with or without the raid. It's hype all the same. You can share the hype of the raid, is what you can do regardless. And a Platinum Nuzlocke. And you got a Pichu. What, in the Platinum Nuzlocke there? I have just been doing this as like a casual playthrough. Like, I haven't attempted a Nuzlocke before in my life. Exception to like one brief thing that's a whole story of its own. Forced to deal with friendship Evo. Oh no. Is it like randomized or something? How do you get a Pichu? Did you just like catch it normally then? I don't know where you normally get Pichu in this. We'll do this even just for the Piloswine, I suppose. And then we'll just use like return on the Xatu. Sure, we'll do that. Like, I just did this as a casual playthrough, being like, yeah, let's just handle it, do the full playthrough, and then we'll be able to compare this to the Diamond and Pearl remasters later this year. So that when I play those games later this year, I will have just recently played Platinum and be like, okay, now I can more accurately compare and contrast these games and whatnot. And well, I was partially thinking about doing a Nuzlocke anyway, and I'm very, very glad I didn't. The moment there were a lot of places that freaking royally screwed me. Like, I've been 30% confused by Water Pulse so many times over. Is that not super effective? Aren't you ice ground or something like that? Does ground resist ground? Got a critical hit though. The screwiest part was probably the 7th gym Candace, where I got there and it was just like Dodge Tank 101, that Frostless. I could not hit that thing. And people were telling me in chat at the time that was apparently like a Nuzlocke ender right there. So I'm kind of really glad that I didn't do a Nuzlocke, but Candace scares me. I never want to do a Platinum Nuzlocke because that freaking scares me. But yeah, let's just see here. But yeah, you don't know why, but you woke up and could barely breathe. That's not good. Is there like anything going on that could potentially cause that by chance? Or maybe it's just one of those weird kind of days. Come on, Mallows, you better hit that earthquake, I hope. But yeah, it's a potentially good special attacker. I have only a Luxray with a rivalry, so what's been better? Gotcha. One of these days, later, I've mentioned this before during this playthrough, but we might do a Soul Link later this year. Potentially. It might be early next year. Already had a surgery to make it stop. That doesn't sound fun. I do hope that all gets, resolved and whatnot. I do hope so. I'm not sure exactly what to say to that situation there, other than I hope that it works itself out, because that is not something good to deal with. My goodness, you were absolutely trying to screw me over with all the statuses here. But yeah, when it comes to Nuzlocke type stuff, a fellow streamer friend of mine, one of the mods of this channel, Shuck, we might potentially be doing a Pokemon Sun and Moon Soul Link with her at some point. And I've even designed like a layout for it and whatnot. Keep track of the Z crystals, showcase like both of our sides, showcase both of our 6 Pokemon. I designed a Pokeball that's supposed to have like a Pokemon Sun and Moon theme. I might switch those to a more standard looking Pokeball, but I also kind of like the Sun and Moon designs I threw together. They're also a little bit jarring. I don't know. But we might do that at some point, and that might be a fun thing to do. But it's in a little bit of a weird place right now, the potential to do that. Because, yeah, I know that a Moonball already exists, but this is a different thing. This is one designed like the titles of, like the box arts of Pokemon Sun and Moon, is what I sampled the colors from and tried to style those after, is what I did. So the original plan was to hop into that Soul Link, the 7th battle, cool. The original plan was to do it sometime this year, like around this summerish, like sometime around nowish, but plans have kind of fallen through because we were already doing a multiplayer playthrough of Super Mario 3D World, but then things came up and we had to take a break from that game for about 3 months, and then it went from a 3-player playthrough to a 4-player playthrough because we freaking brought Guzma in. If anybody knows your boy Guzma on YouTube by chance, we freaking roped him in. So we gotta, when it comes to future sessions of Mario 3D World, we gotta freaking organize 4 people it all working together with is the thing. So it might be a little while before we can finish up that game, our first multiplayer playthrough together with that group. So we gotta wrap up that first, our Mario 3D World playthrough together. And I also gotta wrap up Platinum, which we are actually like close to doing-ish, I guess. But I worry that if we started the Sun and Moon Soul Link anytime soon, it's gonna be something that's going on for a while. Because even if we fail the Soul Link, we'll be doing the playthrough to the end so that we still have a full playthrough. We'll just have failed the Soul Link. And if we do a full playthrough of Sun and Moon, it's probably gonna take us a good while. Like, even just in terms of like the length of doing it, plus organizing the whole thing and finding dates that work for both of us and all that stuff. And I worry that it might like start cutting into the time that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl comes out. And I don't want to be covering 2 main series Pokemon games on the channel at once. I'll cover a bazillion other games on this channel at once, but let's not do like 2 different games in like the same kind of category, you know? So I might have to wait until after we complete Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl until we do the Sun Moon Soul Link. So it might actually wind up being sometime early next year that we do our first kind of Pokemon challenge run, even though it was originally planned to be this year. So we'll see how it works out. We'll see how things go and whatnot. But yeah. I thought you tried to make your own Pokeball in the game. No, that was just the That's just like the icons here, which is also, it's based off the same icon that I use for the channel points in this channel. Like the channel points in this channel are Pokeballs, which is a Pokeball I drew myself. And the Pokeballs on this layout here, that would be the different Pokemon in our Soul Link, have like the same outline. Like it's the exact same model, I just like changed the colors around and whatnot from that original Pokeball that I drew, the red one. What you're actually seeing over, ow, my arms, what you're seeing over here, that same design and whatnot. But yeah. Let's see here. Some who really need to skip dialogue, but hey, I'm okay freaking taking 3,000 years with cutscenes if I'm doing it with a friendo, you know, in a Discord voice call, and both just like memeing around and having fun with it, you know? Because I was mentioning earlier, you know what, I'll tell this story in the next freaking building, how about? Is what we'll do. Save stories for the next one.